says that to become a row echelon form, first row have leading entry 1, below of that leading entry we have to make 0. So here we process 3 process with one matrix, that is 1. We have to multiply first row. Here you can see we have to multiply first row with -3 and add into second row. So 3 becomes 0. We have to multiply first row with 1 and add into third row. So -1 becomes 0. That -1 becomes 0, third element of first column, and the multiply first row with -2 and add into fourth row. So last element of the first column becomes 0. So here is the process, right? Again, second row have leading entry -14, so that we have to make 1. Okay, so we multiply with 1 by 14 second row. Okay, third row we multiply with 1 by 4 and fourth row we multiply with 1 by 5. So in that case this is a matrix, and you can see some another process, and the last matrix become a row echelon form. Now you can see in this matrix we have only 3 non-zero rows. So rank of T is equal to 3, and we know the dimension theorem. Nullity of T is equal to 2. Why nullity of T is equal to 2? Because we know the rank of T is equal to 3 and dimension of the transformation is 5. So nullity is 2, must be 2. Again, kernel of T is null space of A. Okay. So from these equations, from this matrix, we make this equations: x1 plus 4 x2 plus 5 x3 plus 9 x4 x5 is equal to 0. Second equation is minus x2 minus x3 minus 2 x5 is equal to 0. Fourth one is x4 is equal to 0. So which is from this matrix. Now this row echelon matrix have leading entry in first column, second column and fourth column. Third column and fifth column doesn't have any leading entry. So that's why we have to choose here x3 is equal to S and x5 is equal to T. Okay. So from that x2 is equal to minus S minus 2t, x1 is equal to minus S minus t. Now clearly we have to choose here 2 parameters. So kernel of T, nullity of T is equal to 2, that we know. Kernel of T is equal to null space of A, that is equal to minus S. Inside theoretically we can write minus S minus t. You can see on the screen minus S minus t minus S minus 2t S 0 t. Okay, and S and t will be common out, and these two are basis vectors: -1 -1 1 0 0 and -1 -2 0 0 1. Again with the same basis for the range of T. What is it? We have to choose the column vector from A such that corresponding the row echelon form of that matrix have leading entry. So here is the basis vector: 1 3 -1 2, 4 -2 0 3 and 0 0 0 1, which is the basis vector, basis for the range of T. Next topic is 1 1 linear transformation. 1 1 linear transformation. Here is the definition: a linear transformation T from V to W is said to be 1 1 if T maps distinct vectors in V into distinct vectors in W. That means what? Image of two distinct vector must be a distinct. Simple. Image of two distinct vector in domain must be a distinct. Clear? And in other words, we can say that if image are equal of some two vectors, that two vector must be same. So that is T of u is equal to T of v, then u is equal to v for all u v belongs to v. Here is a theorem that T from V to W is a linear transformation, then the following are equivalent. The following statements are equivalent. First statement is T is 1 1, second statement is kernel of T is equal to singleton theta, and third statement is nullity of T is equal to 0. Now second and third statement it's quite easy, because we know that nullity of T is equal to 0. But what is nullity of T? Which is dimension of kernel. Now dimension of kernel is equal to 0. That means what? Kernel must be singleton theta. Okay, and kernel of T is equal to, now if you want to go from B to C, if we suppose that kernel of T is equal to singleton theta, so there is no non-zero vector in kernel of T. That means nullity of T is equal to 0. So from B to C and from C to D, C to B is quite clear. So only need to prove from A to B and B to A. Okay, so let's prove. The equivalence of B and C is immediate from the definition of nullity. Okay, that I told you. Now we are going from A to B. Assume that T is 1 1. Okay, what we have in A, T is 1 1. So assume that T is 1 1. We need to prove that kernel of T is equal to singleton theta. But we know that image of theta is always theta. Okay, here you have to remember that theta in bracket is a 0 vector in domain, and theta, which is a right side, is a 0 vector in codomain. That both theta are not same. Okay, that you have to remember. Now we have to prove that if T is 1 1, we have to prove that kernel of T is equal to singleton theta. Clear? But one side is obvious, that singleton theta is always subset of kernel of T, because image of that theta is equal to theta. Clear? So singleton theta is always subset of kernel of T. So just only need to prove that kernel of T is a subset of singleton theta. That means what? We have to prove that we have to choose any element from kernel of T, and we have to make that element is nothing but the singleton theta. That we have to prove. So let's start one element, choose one element from kernel of T, that U belongs to kernel of T. That means what? By definition of kernel of T, T of U is equal to theta. So now T of U is equal to theta. That means you can see on the screen T of U, sorry, here we choose V instead of U, here we choose V. So V belongs to kernel of T, T of V is equal to theta. Okay, but theta is equal to T of T, theta, and T is 1 1. That we assume, we have it, that T is 1 1, and we have linearity property. So if T is 1 1, that means T of U is equal to T of V, then U is equal to V. So if we use the definition of 1 1, that V is equal to, we get V is equal to theta. That means what? We have to choose any element from kernel of T, that is nothing but the theta. So kernel of T is also subset of theta. So both the way we prove that singleton theta is subset kernel of T and kernel of T subset singleton theta. So kernel of T is equal to singleton theta. Now from B to A, assume that kernel of T is equal to singleton theta. So let T of U, we have to prove that T is 1 1. So start with T of U is equal to T of V. So T of U minus T of V is equal to theta. Now we have T is linear. Okay, transformation T is linear. So we use property of linearity. T of U minus V is equal to theta. Now kernel of T is equal to singleton theta. That means what? If T of U minus V is equal to theta, that means U minus V belongs to kernel of T by definition of kernel of T. But kernel of T is nothing but the singleton theta. That means U minus V is equal to theta. That means U is equal to V. So we start with T of U is equal to T of V, and we will get that U is equal to V. That means T is 1 1. Okay. Let's take example. From the above theorem, we observe that identity operator is 1 1. Why identity operator is 1 1? Because we know that in identity operator we seen that kernel of T is singleton theta. Okay, and zero transformation is not 1 1, because in zero transformation we know that kernel of T, kernel of a zero transformation is equal to the whole domain vector space V if transformation T from V to W, that we already seen that. Okay, so from this theorem you can easily understand that zero transformation is not 1 1 and identity operator is always a 1 1 transformation. Let's see the example, check whether the following transformation is 1 1 or not. Here is a transformation T from R6 to R4, multiplication by the given matrix. Okay, so we already see this matrix before. So we make this matrix in row echelon form with some process that you already know now, that how we make a given matrix in convert into a row echelon form. So you can see and just take your time on screen, just see here is the process. We multiply with first row with 3 and add into second row, multiply with first row with 2 and add into third row, multiply first row with 4 and add into fourth row. Okay, that is the first process. And the second process, in second process the matrix become in row echelon form. Now you can see in this matrix we have only two non-zero row. That means what? Rank of transformation T is equal to 2. Okay, and the dimension of the domain is 6, right? Because dimension is what? R6. Okay, R6, dimension is R6, which is exactly the number of column in this standard matrix. Okay, so that you know that if transformation T from Rn to Rm, our standard matrix is in form of M cross N. Here is a transformation T from R6 to R4, so our standard matrix is in form of 4 cross 6. Clear? So let's see this one. In this matrix we have only two non-zero row, so rank of T is equal to 2, and from the dimension theorem nullity of T is equal to 4. Nullity of T is equal to 4. So clearly nullity is not 0, so this transformation is not 1 1, because the transformation is 1 1 become a transformation T is 1 1, nullity should be 0. Next theorem, which is actually the same theorem as we see before, because the difference is only here domain and codomain are same. So first three statements are same, only the fourth statement are add, that range of T is V. If transformation T from T is operator from V to V, linear operator, then the following are equivalent. T is 1 1. Okay, kernel of T is equal to singleton theta, nullity of T is equal to 0, and range of T is equal to vector space V. Here is a proof. We only just need to prove that from C to D and D to C, right? Because we have already proved that A, B and C are equivalent. So only need to prove that C and D are equivalent. So what is C? Nullity of T is equal to 0. So we assume that we take that nullity of T is equal to 0, and we assume that dimension of V is equal to N. But the dimension theorem, rank of T is equal to N minus nullity, right? And nullity of T is equal to 0. So rank of T is equal to N. Now we have one theorem that if, okay, just listen very careful, that if U subset W, if U subspace of a vector space V, U is a subspace of a vector space V, that means clear that dimension of U is always less or equal to dimension of V. Okay, just I written here, you can understand what is the theorem. Is W, here W is a subset of V, not only a subset of V, but W is a subspace of V. W is a subspace of V. That means clear that dimension of W is always less or equal to dimension of V. That is quite clear. But if dimension of W equal to dimension of V, in that case W and V must be equal. Okay, that is the theorem. So this theorem we use here. Here you can see range of T is a subspace of vector space V, and dimension of range of T and dimension of V are same. So by this theorem, range of T is nothing but vector space V. Okay, so from D to C, it's quite clear. Dimension of V is equal to n, we assume, and range of T is equal to vector space V. So nullity of T is equal to n minus rank of T, n minus n is equal to 0. So nullity of T is equal to 0. So we prove this theorem. Okay. So more discussion we see next time. Okay, complete this topic.